Hello, everybody. How are we doing on this fine evening? Uh, I am Fluffy. Again, with me, I have Talon. Talon, how are you this evening?
I'm super excited. It is, of course, the Friday, but it's should be a great few matchups tonight.
Yeah, so the pick ban phase kind of started a little ahead of schedule, so we're going to jump right into that. First ban was Consulate by Paradox. Second ban was Chalet by Vertex, and then Bank by Paradox.
Nothing too unusual there. Consulate, Chalet, Bank are not exactly seen too often. Chalet definitely more than the other two, but we'll have to see exactly what Vertex's next ban will be.
Yeah, if you look at it, you see Vertex. So they banned Chalet, which honestly, that's a little odd from my perspective. I think that that's one of the easier maps for teams to pick up and play. So you have to assume the vertical game is something they don't like, and then just like that, Cafe, which is another very
Yep.
vertical map, and Paradox. Apparently, they know exactly what they're going to ban.
I know
Skyscraper is now out of there.
they are completely ready for this for sure. Vertex being the one to slow the bands down a little bit tells me Paradox might have came in a little bit prepared and maybe even counter-stratting a little bit. Something that you really don't expect to see until a little bit later in the seasons such as
Right.
this. But we very well could be seeing counter-stratting for like the first time.
Yeah, and I like it too because, Paradox, I think that they're newer, but they have a lot of potential as a team compared to some of these other guys that I think are newer, but they're less experienced, whereas Paradox individual players are a little bit more experienced in the game. Coastline gone, so that's the DLCs. Then pick Oregon by Paradox, Border taken by Vertex, and then Clubhouse will be the decider map.
I like getting right into it. It's definitely a good change of pace from last week, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Right quick in the action on this one.
yeah, three maps. Yeah, honestly, we kind of expected this. Oregon border, and of course, Clubhouse is going to be your decider. We've been seeing these three maps, and honestly, I don't see why we don't just keep playing these very balanced maps for both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the map pool might as well just be these three and maybe one or two others right now. But I do have a question for you. What do you think about maybe possibly reducing the size of the map pool? Currently, we have 9 maps. But a lot of other Counter Strike uses a map pool of 7. So what do you think about that?
Um, the first thing to touch on something like that is you always have to remember how they're relayed and how many are left. So the odd number is actually the number that it normally needs to stay. So I don't necessarily think decreasing the map pool will affect anyone. Honestly, I could see it increasing the value for certain maps because let's be real honest, you're not going to play Skyscraper and Coastline. There's a couple maps that everyone is just not going to play. So to initially remove them isn't necessarily a bad thing. And if anything, I think it could be something to really consider in the future because, like I said, I think it begets stronger play and it forces you to be more prepared on every map because you can't be limited to just 3 because now it's 2 as opposed to 3 or maybe even 1 that you might actually get every time as opposed to as it is now, you can almost guarantee yourself 2 of your maps to be picked up by both teams.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Honestly, with so many maps, I mean, 9 maps, that's almost impossible. With just the complexity of Siege, I really don't think that all 9 maps is going to be able to be fully developed as some of the more meta maps. So, for example, season 3, and of course this season with Border and Oregon, you have all these maps, but like you're saying, you just don't play a lot of them, honestly.
Right.
So, say for example, you left Coastline in, and it was a decider, right? No one really expects you to play it, but for example, say you play it, well, all of a sudden now you're playing a map that people really don't know. Yeah, sure. Some teams might have, practiced on it. They might have dry run. They may have even had a scrim on it. However, it's just not going to be fully developed because there's not the need. There's no demand to go and spend your time developing strats and counter strats on such a map that you're never really going to play. So
Right.
honestly, that's why I would really like to see it down to 7. So that way, just get rid of the 2 junk maps so you don't even have to really worry about. If I had to get rid of anything, it would probably be, for now, probably Coastline. And I don't know, after Coastline, it's kind of a toss-up between all the rest of the maps. It would definitely have to come down to like personal preference at that point
Yeah, I
because
agree completely.
honestly, besides Coastline, every single map in the map pool right now has been played at a competitive level at some point. It's just that, especially with these newer teams, and teams that really haven't had that experience all the way since the beta days, there's so many different things that you have to pick up on and you have to learn, especially if you're starting fresh. It just makes it nearly impossible. Personally, I would probably take out Skyscraper just because of the state
Right.
of Geisha Room and some of the
Yeah, a
other
lot of
issues it
bugs
has
going
with it.
on with that map particularly, so I could see that one going. You have to hope that they're going to be fixing that though shortly. I do know we're going to get into the rosters real quick. Most of the players are getting into the lobby, so we don't want to get too behind and might as well just be ahead of schedule for once. Be something very awesome. I am currently missing the image for Vertex. They didn't get me their current roster soon enough, so we'll just go ahead and go with the home team, Paradox. As you can see here, no Twitter or anything to follow them or anything like that, but we did just see them on last play day, Wednesday. We got JT, Mayhem, Heavy, Bonzi, and Vortex. And honestly, again, I think per usual on Rome, the heavy fragger JT, the player to watch, the impact player, as you would say, Talon. What do you think about these guys?
I totally agree. JT definitely putting in a lot of work there. Mayhem also, don't leave him out of there. He's definitely shown and proven that he is a valuable asset to his team. So definitely look out for that. I just want to say that I think it's funny that Vortex is going to be fighting against Vertex.
Against
Just something
Vertex.
so close. It might confuse us for a little bit, but other than that, it should be good to go. Other than that, I think Paradox has a good shot.
Yeah, we don't have the image for it, but I do have the roster list in front of me. I'm not sure exactly who is the starters for these guys, of course, but we'll go ahead and run down their whole roster, which is One Tap, Ty Tangles, who I know is on vacation, so it won't be him, Bamboozler, Crooked with an ID at the end, Yokemeister, Jonesy, iButt, and Quavo. Yokemeister and iButt have yet to play in the season so far. I'm looking at their stats. It looks like their heavy fragger is One Tap. He is 20 and 22 with 4 assists currently. So he's doing pretty good. The next big fragger for them is Bamboozler with 18 frags and 22 deaths and 5 assists. So they're looking pretty solid as far as their frags go. Actually, I'm looking down on Paradox stat sheet here, and JT isn't really fragging quite as much as I thought he was. It looks like their heavy fragger right now is Vortex with 22 kills and 22 deaths with 3 assists. Of course, both of these teams are 0-2 after our first 2 weeks of play. I believe Vertex is coming in at 11 and Paradox coming in at 10, so fairly evenly matched, at least so to speak, statistically.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Unfortunately, when you just have these teams that just haven't won a map yet, you really can't exactly see who is really pulling a lot of the weight. Of course, they're, when you have a 1 KD, that, yes, you can have a lot of kills, but if you are also dying at the same time, it can be reflective of a lot of things. Maybe you're getting traded out easier. Maybe you're setting up kills, but then getting killed yourself. So it's really kind of hard to tell, especially without looking at the individual rounds themselves. So we'll have to see exactly. One of these two teams is going to break their losing streak today. So that's at least some good news.
That is definitely something exciting. Someone will come out with a win in this one, and there is no way around it. I'm checking out some of these stats on Oregon. It looks like when the laundry is picked, the attackers have won 57.5% of the time currently, and that is a 62.5% pick rate coming out for them. So that's probably what we're going to see most likely as the primary site, where it looks as, this whole map is just slightly in favor of the attackers, 56 to 43%. Do you think that there's anything that might particularly happen in this one to sway those numbers, or do you think that we'll still see a fairly attack-sided map?
Honestly, it comes down to it is a little bit attack sided. I do think it is still fairly balanced. If you look at some of the other sites from the other maps, you can sometimes even see upwards of 80% skewed to one side or the other. So just a few percent to me tells me it's a very balanced map. Both teams, or both sides, I should say, have an equal opportunity to win each and every single round, and that is what we're looking for in a competitive map.
Absolutely. And I think on that note, everyone is ready. So let's not delay it anymore. Let's get into this week 3, day 5 action. Vertex eSports versus Paradox, Oregon. And I'm ready to do this one. Again, both teams are 0-2 after the first 2 weeks of play. Coming in at number 11 is Vertex, number 10 is Paradox, so it should be an awesome matchup to watch. Like we said, Laundry going to be the first bomb site defended, it looks like, unless they switch it up. I do, of course, personally love the use of Mira on this map. I love how she changed the way it functions entirely. You know, you would play it from that closet before underneath, but it wouldn't be quite as safe, and now you can freely play the meeting. So a lot of diversity coming out now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that castle pick. That kind of tells me that they might be leaning towards playing in meeting. You know, maybe use one of those mirrors down in closet, but then use the second mirror up in meeting. That castle is definitely invaluable to trying and slow down the attackers. Looks like they will be going up into meeting. Maybe put up a couple of reinforcements. Actually, an impact going out there as well from castle into kitchen. That's going to be the rotate hole for later in the round if they do decide they need to do that. I like this replacement here.
Last time we saw them, actually, Town, they did the exact same setup, which was just on Wednesday. They played Oregon, and they were leaving this here. You know, a lot of teams will enter from this dining kitchen side, so a good way to counter that push.
Yeah, for sure. That's also for later in the round if they do decide that they need to come up from back behind. You're not being forced into the choke point that Vertex is currently reinforcing.
I like the castle.
That's going to be really confusing. There's a player named Vertex, and they're playing Vertex.
It's Vertex and Vortex. So one is a whirlwind, and one is just a word.
Interesting idea. I thought
Mayhem is hanging out up in this attic though right now. You have an ADS all the way back on him, or excuse me, on these sandbags, and he is tricking the back. They are trying to take the back tower side. Looks like they're going to get entry into the top of this tower, so they have within 30 seconds already obtained the control of that tower, which is pretty much necessary if you're going to go for a kid's take of any kind. Not quite sure we see any roamers. It looks like pretty much a defensive standard. Going to be holding it for meeting. Let's watch Mayhem, because the last time he was here, he did a fairly good job playing this position and getting the peak. But I don't know if you were watching the hat game that we casted last on Wednesday. Excuse me, Talon. What Billboard did was he would go up on that little ledge outside of the tower, and it gives you a better angle right there where Mayhem is peaking. So maybe that one will come into play.
He obviously knows the position, and he's ready for someone to go there.
Jonesy takes out JT in his first appearance. Actually, no, Quails is the first appearance. This is his second appearance. But a good job by him to take him down. Gunfire going back and forth. Quavo pushing inside and getting his first pickup for his performance. He's down. Bamboozler, though, he was able to get a pick also, but he's down upstairs. They're just going to pick him up. Heavy gets the trade onto one tap, so that's now gone for them. Mayhem gets Jonesy. Doing a good job on the back of this tower. 3v3, a minute and 15 left. No more Jaeger, no more Castle, no more Blackbeard, no more Habana. And again, that cheeky corner spot to avoid the ability to be seen.
Drones up and running.
Definitely something he's used to playing and something he does on the regular. Only 1 minute left. Still doing the dance in tower. Looks like Ash has opened up that side wall by garage. They have thermite, but they do not have any of the hatches open quite yet. Mayhem still sitting in this back corner on top of the ladder, doing a very good job holding this positioning. Only 35 seconds left. Hatcher pushing down this back stairs. Pretty timid. It looks like Mayhem has them completely confused, Talon.
Yeah, and they've wasted so much time. It's just going to come down to a 15 or 10-second push. They can't even get the thermite off properly. This is not looking good for them.
Not quite sure. There's no mute, so not sure why he didn't pop that. They're just going to drop into this back electric room, so they're going to be funneled, and they're going to know exactly where they're at. Quavo getting a second kill, and he goes down. Mayhem gets a trade right back on the Quavo, but no, he gets a trade right back. Mayhem gets a double kill, and Bonzi finishing it out on Bamboozler. The very first round going over to Paradox. Very good job by them to end that round in strong fashion on defense.
I agree, but I do think it was a very slow start for Vertex. Unfortunately, they just took so much time, working their way into using the drones. Halfway through the round, I said I liked it, but then suddenly they just didn't realize how to capitalize on the information that they had. They were able to take the actual meeting, but then they left a bandit Mayhem up in bridge. Unfortunately, they knew he was there. They just didn't exactly have a plan. They didn't realize, hey, we need to get rid of the ADS and we just need to nade him. There's no reason to take this gun battle. And he ended up punishing 1 or 2 people because of it. And of course, he did rotate down and clean up the rest of the round for him. I think that if you're going to take it so slow, I think you need to be ready and learn when you need to explode and really just go for it, honestly. Because once you get all the information you can get, there's not much more else other than to just go and do it. So I think they just need to speed it up. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, at a certain point, you have to realize, like you said, you're taking a really long time. So just get the trade. If you're that concerned with that player in that position, just enter with 3 people, put one on the window, put one on the ladder, do whatever you have to do, get on the backside, but just push him, get the trade, and move on. Because by the time they decided to just ignore him, it was only 15 seconds left. So Mayhem did a very good job holding that round up there. Pretty much a prime example of how to roam this map and hold down that attic. So that put Paradox in favor 1-0. We are now in round 2, though, on the first map in this best-of-3 series, week 3 matchup.
Looks like they're just kind of doing a light sort of roam over towards meeting and kitchen right now. They did reinforce rear stage. That just maybe, helped deny some of the angles. They do have Jonesy up on those rear staged stairs. So that way they have kind of a very spread out formation right now. This could end up punishing them, though, because there are no trade potentials. One tap actually picking up.
Yeah, Bandit takes out Capital. JT is down. So it's a 5v4 already. It wasn't even 45 seconds into the round, and you got to be careful losing your man that early. Of course, that firepower from those arrows is not going to be here. They're normally going to use that to try to choke them in that closet and make Smoke not be able to throw his smoke charges. So that's gone. Only 2 minutes left in this round. And they do have potentially 3 roamers, 2 playing in, well, 1 inside of the meeting, 1 on the back stairs. One tap gets a double kill right as we switch off, and Vertex is now down. So it's 5v3 in favor of
attackers have recovered their
Vertex Gaming, or eSports. So a good job on the roam by him. Jonesy peeking that front stairs. Bonzi looks to peek the front door. Habana is down. And now it's a 5v2, almost all over already. 135 remaining in human reactions. He takes out another one. So Mayhem's down, and now it's all left on Thermite with 1 minute and 25 remaining in this round. And I guess we can kind of touch on it already. Just what do you think? They just kind of fell apart on that one.
Yeah, honestly, right now the defense is really playing a very loose style.
By Heavy. For the double kill by Heavy. He says, you're going to cast in front of me. I'm going to show you that it's not over quite yet. Bringing it back to a 3v1. Getting tapped from the backside of that meeting. Jonesy has pushed up through the front stairs and into meeting. He was able to get a couple bullets down onto Heavy. Bamboozler now knows he's there. See if he can get this triple kill, but Jonesy gets a double kill for himself and ends the round. And now you can go ahead and continue, Talon, because that one was already over. Just a little bit of life breathing back into him. But that's it. Now 1-1.
Yeah. I like the spirit coming out there, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough of 1v5. It's just it's a little too hard in Siege. But as I was saying, the defense was playing a very, very loose style, and that can go one of 2 ways. Either you can get completely punished and destroyed for it, or it can really work in your favor because you're just playing so loose and very unpredictable. Unfortunately, I don't think that the attackers really had the drones that they really needed to. Paradox just needs to really focus in, have 1 drone, have 1 hunter chasing the drone, and just go for it, because that's the best way you're going to do it right now. They just kind of sent 1 person at a time at the roamers, and that is not what you need to be doing. You really need to be focusing a lot more effort and pressure towards each individual roamer. Start working your way all the way down. It's going to take a little bit longer since they are playing so loose, but it'll pay out in the end.
Right. The location of a bomb.
So we will see our first kids' bedroom defense here on round 3. There's, of course, 1-1 all tied up currently. So they put their first mirror on this wall. They reinforced one of these walls on the attic, not the second one, so they're going to make a hole and look to, I think, maybe just play it for rotations. They're not reinforcing the back side of the tower either. The second mirror has been placed on top of White Stairs to be able to allow vision into the small dorms itself, where, people will take control of this master breach in here and get the plant down on that one, which is your second option pretty much. Not a lot of people going to be entering from big window, more of a last-ditch kind of effort. But again, they are going to look to take from this tower side. Did a good job last time getting in fairly early. But Mayhem, again on roam. Look at him, he's sitting upstairs in a very cheeky spot on this metal plate wall.
Defenders actually have a very strong hold in big tower right now. I think they have 2 people. JT downstairs with a pulse, help giving Mayhem some callouts. I think this could be a very, very nasty combo if the attackers don't properly drone this. That's going to be the key here.
Yeah, they're going to have to get vision on him and spot him there. A little bit of back and forth going back and forth. No damage really done, though. They now know Mayhem is up there. Like you said, we're going to see if he's going to just use his all of the force, jump right in there, and inhumane reactions shows us he does have some inhuman reactions, and Mayhem is down. Very good pickup by him. A minute and 50 remaining.
Never happen though. That's kind of that's a little bit of a tough one there.
And Boozler gets to pick onto Heavy. Heavy's down, and it's now again a 5v3 in favor of Vertex. They have made their way into the attic, and they have full control of it currently. Smoke sitting on top of this white stairs, just looking for a push. Jonesy's also made his way in. Looks like he has control of that master bedroom. And on the backside, Quavo getting a kill onto Vertex, so he's down 5v3, a minute and 20 remaining. JT finally getting the pickup for his team, and Human down. Jonesy pushes all the way through and gets Bonzi on the white stairs, who was distracted, and he gets shot in the back, and Bamboozler finishes it off with a double kill, and that round goes over to Vertex.
Wow, they just got that momentum started in by killing Mayhem, and they just carried all the way through towards the end. They had tons and tons of time at the end of the round there. I think that was just a simple case of just dying one by one. Unfortunately, Mayhem couldn't really do much there, but then they just kind of kept peeking. They got picked off one by one. There were no trades coming out. So unfortunately, they're going to have to really step it up and show them on this attack round that they can keep it up. Instead, it might go 3-1. That would not be looking very good.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something. Just like the round before, they all kind of went down early.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Going to have to try something different on the next time around, because it is now a 2-1 in favor of Vertex.
I agree. Unfortunately, for Mayhem in that big tower, he just was not ready for the Thatcher there to just hop right in. That is definitely a gun battle that you should be winning, especially if they don't have a drone on you. I don't think that I think that he knew he was up there on the scaffolding, but he just didn't know exactly where, and he just hopped in and got lucky. So, fortunately, Mayhem really just needs to stay calm. Maybe his nerves got to him a little bit there, but those are the sort of picks that you really need to be keeping tabs on.
5 seconds
for sure.
to go.
Right. Yeah, so hopefully they can make that adjustment that they
Attackers
need
recovered
to.
the bomb diffuser. Attackers are moving out
A
to
few
locate the bomb
bitrate
and
issues
defuse
with
it.
the stream. I think I might have a fix, but I'm gonna have to give me a second if you want to do a little bit of talking, Talon.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, we currently have a little bit of roaming and meeting. We did see this from JT, the same thing. He has been droned out, so he's going to be falling back a little bit. I don't expect him to try and take a aim duel now. It's just a little bit too early, late in the round. One tap is, of course, nearby. Bongo going downstairs. He might actually pull off a good flank coming from rear stage. If he gets up those back stairs and to an unsuspecting Mayhem there on Thatcher, and of course Vertex on the Habana, that could be definitely huge. He's just trying to check his angles. Not exactly sure what he's going to be able to see. Still in sight. We still have some holes getting opened up a minute into the round.
A little late for that one. At least he's getting it open now, and it's not going to be punished by it. We are now currently 1 minute into this round 4. Blackbeard just hanging out on this front white van, looking for any kind of rotations that he may see. They have obtained control of this tower finally, or excuse me, the attic, and they're going to use the Habana to open it up, and Human, of course, right on the other side of this wall, sitting inside of the Master. Let's see what he does. Not really going to budge with his positioning, finally deciding to move a little bit. That wall has opened up, a minute and 30 left. Still no one down, so it's a 5v5.
A bomb has been located.
And they
Paradox is just being very slow again. Once again, they're just taking just too much time. A minute and 30, they really haven't gained any substantial ground. They don't even really have bridge.
Beautiful shot by Vertex. Clean headshot, and Inhuman is down, so no more dock for them. Right on the other side of this wall is Jonesy. He sees him going through. Wow. I can't believe he was able to get through that without dying. Blackbeard is in control of Armory. One tap, kills Bonzi on the backside. So it's 4v4, but Vertex, it's a double kill. One tap, he's down now. It's a 3v4 in favor of Paradox. Only a minute remaining, and I guess their slow pace paid off this time, a little bit more meticulous of their movements. We're sitting with Vertex. He currently has the double kill. Only 50 seconds left. They do not have control of sight. Jonesy on the backside gets a kill onto Mayhem. So Pulse takes us out. Thatcher. And now Vertex gets a triple kill. Quavo's gone. Currently doing a fantastic job holding it down. He sees another one. Can he get the quadra? Vertex takes out Bamboozler, and that's 4 for him this round. He's going to push through. He knows he's on the white stairs, and he gets the ace. Vertex with the ace, shutting him down. We'll bring it back 2-2.
Wow, that was definitely a great display of individual skill there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think that is the first ace of CCS there.
You are not wrong.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at the stats, but I'm pretty sure that's the first ace, and we got to see every single kill except for I think one.
Just one.
Very, very great round from Vertex there. Super huge. That is exactly what that team needed. Unfortunately, I still think that they were a little bit slow. If Vertex wasn't able to step up, or if he got picked, I don't think that they really had another way to really win that round. Of course, there towards the end, they were trying to open up small, so he could have really gotten in, and they might have been able to get a plant down. However, I do think that that Vertex also was kind of playing a little bit too aggressive there. I think that they were kind of going for the picks. You know, Mira was just laying down in the doorway. I don't really know why you'd want to be doing that, especially to get drowned out and pre-fired. So I think they just needed to sit back and try to cover those angles. Halfway through the round, they did have the pulse dot combo right on the other side of the bridge when it got opened up. So they knew no one was there. I mean, there's no reason for Doc to be peeking. That was the first kill of that round. So again, just really need to settle down and wait for them to come to you.
Yeah, just huge individual play. Like you said, I'm not sure why he's laying down the hallway. When you're going to be playing on defense, play for entry, play for the sure kill, as opposed to giving them an opportunity to get the kill, which he gave him, and he took that opportunity and shut them down pretty much by himself. So good job by him to bring it back, tied up 2-2 in this round 5.
Yep, I can confirm that that is the first ace of CCS. I just went ahead and looked through all the players' stats.
That is awesome. So a very good job by Vertex on Paradox to get that first ace. Mayhem again going to be holding down this attic, even though they're playing from the basement. So I like this. JT also going to be roaming with him this time in the kids' dorm. They do have control of the back tower already because Thermite is in there. So is Thatcher. Be using a regular reaching around to open it up. Mayhem should have peeked that one on that one, hearing it go off, but doesn't. So they're successfully opening that back attic. They're going to drone him out, so they know he's back there once again. Ooh, it looked like that was going to be a kill, but he missed the shots. Back and forth 1 minute into this round, still trying to get Mayhem out of here again. And a good job by him on that time. He gets the kill, but he gets traded right back. Bamboozler gets him, one tap, gets another one. So Mayhem and Heavy are down, and one tap with the double kill, and Bonzi's down, and he's already down inside of this back closet room. I do not know how this happens, Talon. And now it looks like he's playing defense. Vertex trying to take control of the site, and we got a triple kill. One tap says he wants to get his own ace, but Jonesy says I don't think so. He gets one, and I'm not quite sure what happened. One kill here. I don't know how he got inside, but a good job by him to execute and get in there and cause all kinds of destruction. It's now 3-2 in favor of Vertex eSports.
Unfortunately there, I want to say that Paradox got a little bit too complacent, honestly. I think that they might have castled up the main stairs, and One Tap was able to just break it down, walk down, realize no one was watching, get into sight, you know, cause some havoc, kill the people that were on cams, and fortunately, defense can't really retake sight there. Defense aren't the attackers, that is for sure. So I think that was just a simple case of him seeing an opening and taking it, which is honestly a very smart move. A lot of times strategies that teams create aren't really relying on trying to find those openings and then just shooting someone down into sight. I think that's just an individual decision that he made, and it paid out in the end big time.
Yeah, definitely paid out in the end. I gotta assume that those hatches were open and he just kind of squeaked in, got a kill, moved all the way in, got another kill. A little bit of miscommunication, I would assume, on the side of Paradox on that round, which is what probably allowed for him to be in there so freely. standard defensive hold that we saw last time. They're not going to be putting that Mira upstairs in a meeting, though. They're going to use it to the back stairs here in the B-bomb side. Of course, the other one going down in this closet. We are into round 6. It is map 1 in this best of 3, week 3, day 5. Vertex currently in 11th place, 0-2. Paradox currently in 10th place, 0-2 as well. So someone will come out a victor on this one and get their first win.
Yeah, for sure.
See
Now they
an
They
Echo.
did decide to bring an Echo. Yeah, I was just about to talk about that. You know, really bringing the Echo is interesting that they're not decided not to bring a smoke, though. I definitely disagree with that. I do think the smoke is definitely a much better value. You can't really deny the smoke, but you can deny the Echo by just straight up shooting it. If you get it pre-droned and you realize where it is, it's a good complement to smoke, but as a complete replacement, I don't think it really does the same thing.
Yeah, if you're going to replace someone, honestly, in this combo, you're going to get rid of Bandit or you're going to get rid of Doc. Doc's a nice luxury item, but you have to have smoke. Not sure what he reacted to there. It was a little odd. I don't think that's a two-way wall. 1 minute into this round, though, all 5 players still left alive. Now, Jaeger has seen him.
Paradox is definitely playing this slow again. You know, they love playing slow. It's pretty obvious. I do think that this can be punished a little bit more on Vertex's side. Man, one tap. I don't know how you were able to cross that without dying.
Yeah, he just pretty much walked right in front of that open door. Anyone could have shot them, so he got lucky. 1 minute and 35 left. Still no players down. But just as I say that, he gets sprayed through the wall, and Heavy kills him. So that's Thermite taken out. Bandit. Bandit is no more. 5v4 in favor of Paradox. It is 3v2 in favor of Vertex currently, though. Jonesy takes out that drone, but they now know where he is. They do have this hatch open. See how they're going to play this. Thatcher peeking through, throwing his EMPs in. They're all stacking up here. Thermite just going to patiently wait and play that. He's still holding that back stairs on Doc. Jaeger playing that Mira in the closet.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
They heard him punch the barbed wire on the stairs, so he's going to be looking toward that. And this is the fire arrow that we were talking about coming through. It takes him down about 20%. So a good job by Capital to use that one. Mayhem gets through on the backside, takes out Jonesy. Bamboozler with a good C4. Vertex, he's down. So it's now 4v3 in favor of Paradox. They still have control of this. Ooh, and he's getting caught switching his arrows out. Bamboozler was almost able to get that pick, but he doesn't quite do it. Only 30 seconds left. They're going to have to get inside. They got the bomb down finally. Thatcher's still going to sit on top of this laundry unit. Makes his way down. Jaeger still playing this. Mira. Everyone kind of peeking the hatch. He sees a little bit of him, but he misses the shot. Habana does a good job. Bonzi takes out Bamboozler. Mayhem takes out Quavo. It's all left on Doc now, and he's in meeting. And then you get the double kill from Heavy. So Thermite kills Thatcher, on the rotate. Or who was that on the rotate? Doc on the rotate, a little confused on that one, but they were able to bring it back, so it's all tied up at 3-3 in round 7.
You know, even though the Paradox is really starting to play slow, and you know, but I do think it's kind of methodical, honestly. You know, that first round where One Tap was able to just kind of like run around, you know, that might have just been like a one-off round for them. You know, maybe just getting it the rust all shaken off, but unfortunately, when you're playing that methodical, it can really work against you at the same time. But if they're really making it work, then more power to them. I do think that the Doc there, I think that was Inhuman that was playing on that Doc, could have used his stims on the 2 remaining players they had. It was like a 3v, I want to say 4 or 5 situation, and 2 of their players were low, plus the Doc. So unless he already used his stims early in the round, he definitely could have been using that. But other than that, it's still a really good round for Paradox. Of course, looks like they will be playing in meeting once again. Same exact setup we've been seeing. Nothing too unusual there. Not exactly sure how Vertex wants to take it this time. Someone is stuck. Looks like they're going to go ahead and get him back up. Not sure if they want to or not. That's going to be on them.
10 seconds to go.
Gonna have to ask VT.
5 seconds left.
Not really much you can do about that one. I don't think it's significant. He's back up. We're just going to go ahead and let this one
Attackers are
play.
moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Not big enough to stop the game. It hurts, but I don't think it's going to be a detriment to this round. So we are going to see this meeting hold once again, pretty much identical to the last time. And the one thing I wanted to touch on, and they were playing that very slow, methodical way to play it. But then around 1:30, they started pressing really hard on that hatch, and I think the counter aggression at the end there is what helped them solidify that round for them. So a good small adjustment by them, almost as if they heard you, Talon. Looks like they are going to get inside of this tower once again. Seems to be no matter what site they play, they're going to be doing it anyway. Not a bad idea to top down. You know, of course, Mayhem is going to be sitting here in his spot. We might as well dub it Mayhem spot because it's pretty much the only place he plays on defense. See a slow peek, a Bamboozler slaps him in the mouth with that shot, and he's down. Mayhem already gone. He did eat up a minute, but that's just not quite enough.
I finally realized that they just need to get a good peek off, and that's how you're going to kill him. Now, there's 2 minutes left. Unfortunately, I think this is the first time that he's actually died, and they've had this much time that they still have to burn. You do have JT and Vertex decide to rotate up. I'm going to shoot a little bit of bullets and fall off in the classroom.
Ooh, a beautiful shot by Jonesy. He takes out Vertex, picking up his first kill of the round. 5v3 in favor of VT. But right as I say that, JT takes out Jonesy. He's sitting inside a garage, so he gets that kill, but one tap gets the trade back, so Heavy's down, so it's a 4v2 now. 1:15 remaining. Mira, Bandit, and Castle down. Habana down for the attackers. Quavo gets the kill, and one tap gets the double kill at the end. Bonzi down, so a pretty clean round by them on attack, and once again, like we said, this is pretty much all attacker heavy on this round. Seems like pretty much how most of the maps have gone so far in the CCS in this first season.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's been a trade. So far, it's been trade back one for one rounds. That's why you're seeing the 4-3 scoreline right now. It's going to be up to, I believe, was it Paradox is going to have to bring it back to the 4-4s, try and take it into overtime. We are going upstairs into kids' dorms, so we'll see if Vertex is able to really hold on to it. I want to say that they were not able to. I don't think that anyone has won a defense round up in kids yet. That last round, you know, nothing really too special other than being able to take out Mayhem much quicker. Weren't able to burn all that time that they're so much used to. So unfortunately, the anchors on site just could not hold it. Smoke was, of course, stuck in that classroom as they were already in sight. That is not stuck in classroom, stuck in closet. Of course, when you're already in sight, there's not much you can do there.
Yeah, not much you can do there at all. Going to see this Mira going on this left panel. You will see a lot of teams opting to put it in the middle panel. I don't really think it makes much of a difference, but we'll see what kind of difference it does make. Barbed wire at the top of white stairs, pretty standard, and then they're going to put the Mira again on this wall facing into the master bedroom. I do like this use of Mira. The easiest way to counter this would be to go underneath and just kind of breach up into that once you know they're there. So some good droning could help eliminate that possibility. You know, they do have that Ash, so Ash can just go underneath and shoot it, and then shoot the Mira herself. One tap plays. Hello, everybody. How are we doing on this fine evening? I am Fluffy. Again, with me, I have Talon. Talon, how are you this evening?
I'm super excited. It is, of course, the Friday, but it's should be a great few matchups tonight.
Yeah, so the pick ban phase kind of started a little ahead of schedule, so hello, everybody. How are we doing on this fine evening? I am Fluffy. Again, with me, I have Talon. Talon, how are you this evening?
I'm super excited. It is, of course, the Friday, but it's should be a great few matchups tonight.
Yeah, so the pick ban phase kind of started a little ahead of schedule, so we're going to jump right into that. First ban was Consulate by Paradox. Second ban was Chalet by Vertex, and then Bank by Paradox.
Nothing too unusual there. Consulate, Chalet, Bank are not exactly.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing on this fine evening? I am Fluffy. Again, with me, I have Talon. Talon, how are you this evening?
I'm super excited. It is, of course, the Friday, but it's should be a great few matchups tonight.
Yeah, so the pick ban phase kind of started a little ahead of schedule. So we're going to jump right into that. First ban was Consulate by Paradox. Second ban was Chalet by Vertex, and then Bank by Paradox.
Nothing too unusual there. Consulate, Chalet, Bank are not exactly seen too often. Chalet definitely more than the other two. But we'll have to see exactly what Vertex's next ban will be.
Yeah, if you look at it, you see Vertex. So they banned Chalet, which honestly, that's a little odd from my perspective. I think that that's one of the easier maps for teams to pick up and play. So you have to assume the vertical game is something they don't like. And then just like that, Cafe, which is another very
Yep.
vertical map, and Paradox, apparently they know exactly what they're going to ban.
Yeah,
Skyscraper is now out of there.
They are completely ready for this for sure. Vertex being the one to slow the bands down a little bit tells me Paradox might have came in a little bit prepared and maybe even counter-stratting a little bit. Something that you really don't expect to see until a little bit.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing on this fine evening? I am Fluffy. Again, with me, I have Talon. Talon, how are you this evening?
I'm super excited. It is, of course, the Friday, but it's should be a great few matchups tonight.
Yeah, so the pick ban phase kind of started a little ahead of schedule. So we're going to jump right into that. First ban was Consulate by Paradox. Second ban was Chalet by Vertex, and then Bank by Paradox.
Nothing too unusual there. Consulate, Chalet, Bank are not exactly seen too often. Chalet definitely more than the other two. But we'll have to see exactly what Vertex's next ban will be.
Yeah, if you look at it, you see Vertex. So they banned Chalet, which honestly, that's a little odd from my perspective. I think that that's one of the easier maps for teams to pick up and play. So you have to assume the vertical game is something they don't like. And then just like that, Cafe, which is another very vertical map, and Paradox, apparently they know exactly what they're going to ban. Skyscraper is now out of there.
They are completely ready for this for sure. Vertex being the one to slow the bands down a little bit tells me Paradox might have came in a little bit prepared and maybe even counter-stratting a little bit. Something that you really don't expect to see until a little bit later in the seasons such as this. But we very well could be seeing counter-stratting for like the first time.
Yeah, and I like it too because, Paradox, I think that they're newer, but they have a lot of potential as a team compared to some of these other guys that I think are newer, but they're less experienced, whereas Paradox individual players are a little bit more experienced in the game. Coastline gone, so that's the DLCs. Then Pick, Oregon by Paradox, Border taken by Vertex, and then Clubhouse will be the decider map.
I like getting right into it. It's definitely a good change of pace from last week, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Right quick in the action on this one.
Yeah, 3 maps. Honestly, we kind of expected this. Oregon, Border, and of course, Clubhouse is going to be your decider. We've been seeing these 3 maps, and honestly, I don't see why we don't just keep playing these very balanced maps for both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the map pool might as well just be these 3 and maybe 1 or 2 others right now. But I do have a question for you. What do you think about maybe possibly reducing the size of the map pool? Currently, we have 9 maps, but a lot of other Counter-Strike uses a map pool of 7. So what do you think about that?
The first thing to touch on something like that is you always have to remember how they're relayed and how many are left. So the odd number is actually the number that it normally needs to stay. So I don't necessarily think decreasing the map pool will affect anyone. Honestly, I could see it increasing the value for certain maps because let's be real honest, you're not going to play Skyscraper and Coastline. There's a couple maps that everyone is just not going to play. So to initially remove them isn't necessarily a bad thing. And if anything, I think it could be something to really consider in the future because, like I said, I think it begets stronger play and it forces you to be more prepared on every map because you can't be limited to just 3 because now it's 2 as opposed to 3 or maybe even 1 that you might actually get every time as opposed to as it is now, you can almost guarantee yourself 2 of your maps to be picked up by both teams.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Honestly, with so many maps, I mean, 9 maps, that's almost impossible. With just the complexity of Siege, I really don't think that all 9 maps is going to be able to be fully developed as some of the more meta maps. So, for example, season 3, and of course this season with Border and Oregon, you have all these maps, but like you're saying, you just don't play a lot of them, honestly.
Right.
So say for example you left Coastline in and it was a decider, right? No one really expects you to play it, but for example, say you play it, well, all of a sudden now you're playing a map that people really don't know. Yeah, sure, some teams might have practiced on it, they might have dry run, they may have even had a scrim on it. However, it's just not going to be fully developed because there's not the need, there's no demand to go and spend your time developing strats and counter strats on such a map that you're never really going to play. So
Right.
honestly, that's why I would really like to see it down to 7. So that way, just get rid of the 2 junk maps so you don't even have to really worry about. If I had to get rid of anything, it would probably be, for now, probably Coastline. And I don't know, after Coastline, it's kind of a toss-up between all the rest of the maps. It would definitely have to come down to like personal preference at that point.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Because honestly, besides Coastline, every single map in the map pool right now has been played at a competitive level at some point. It's just that, especially with these newer teams and teams that really haven't had that experience all the way since the beta days, there's so many different things that you have to pick up on and you have to learn, especially if you're starting fresh. It just makes it nearly impossible. Personally, I would probably take out Skyscraper just because of the state of Geisha Room and some of the other
a lot of
issues it
bugs
has
going
with it.
on with that map particularly, so I could see that one going. You have to hope that they're going to be fixing that though shortly. I do know we're going to get into the rosters real quick. Most of the players are getting into the lobby, so we don't want to get too behind and might as well just be ahead of schedule for once. Be something very awesome. I am currently missing the image for Vertex. They didn't get me their current roster soon enough, so we'll just go ahead and go with the home team, Paradox. As you can see here, no. All right, we are back. We're going into map 2 border. Map 1 went over to Vertex eSports. They beat Paradox 5-3 on Oregon. It was a pretty fun matchup to watch, though. What do you think, Town?
Yeah, it was, the rounds are back and forth, and that's really all you can ask for when it comes down to a competitive map, and that's really something that all maps should really strive. Having some 5-2 games and some 5-1 games are okay, but honestly, it's the maps that are really come down to the wire, which are really going to be the most exciting to watch. Meanwhile, here we are going into border. Looks like Paradox will be starting on defense. Looks like they will have the Mira Bandit good combo there. However, there is a Twitch. Vertex is bringing a Twitch, so that could be a potential counter. There is no mute, so if she's able to get right in there, they very well might do some damage.
Yeah, I feel like we've been seeing a little bit more of the Twitch lately with how prevalent that Mira has become. Other than getting underneath and getting a shot onto it, there's not a lot of counter that you can do for that. You have Habana and then you have Twitch. So bringing both gives you another option if one doesn't work.
Defenders,
so, and of course, her gun probably has some of the best slaying power in the game, in my personal opinion. So, understandable why we can see it. It still can be replaced for Thatcher. Thatcher kind of irreplaceable. It can still do some of the same duties. Oh, I like the Twitch pickup here. Ash can get from underneath. They have Habana and Thermite. Blackbeard should be sitting on that AC unit ledge over here toward the northeast.
If you look at Box real quick, that's a quite interesting setup, something you really don't see from many teams. They actually decided to C4 one wall and open or reinforce the other side of it. I don't know exactly why you'd want to do that over just opening up the door and pre-firing that way, because that kind of oh no, they did reinforce over on security side. I just noticed that reinforcement over there, so that's like kind of half completes the wall there. I bet you that probably does is forces the attackers to go out and get a really wide angle. This is a super interesting setup that we currently have from Paradox. The mirror facing in the hall, we haven't seen that before, but they have a rotate hole on the back of security
Attackers have dropped
back
the bomb
towards the
diffuser.
site. So this could be very interesting. It's obviously going to be security hold.
A little similar to how I've been seeing Ominous run their border defense also, so maybe some adaptation from playing them in scrims or something. During that, though, Mayhem gets the pick, one taps down. Bamboozler gets a trade right back, so Mayhem's gone. Thermite does a good job getting Bandit to get the trade. Any early trade, I believe, is always in favor of the attackers because it's one less angle you can watch on defense. 1 minute into the round, 4v4, finally getting the drones into the security room so they know that JT is in there. Jonesy was able to drone him out. So let's see what kind of gunplay we're going to see between these two. Obviously, a battle ensuing soon. He knows he's back in a corner, but not a lot he can do. It's the good thing about that pillar and why they've been doing this setup lately, is it does allow you to sit in that corner safely if you have someone up by this front cabinet.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
Ooh, right as we switch to
Defender
Thermite,
exposed.
Vertex jumps out from that ventilation room window and kills Thermite. So Thermite is now down also. Puts the advantage in favor of Paradox. So good roam by them. Jonesy taking out one. JT's down. Bonzi gets the trade right back to Jonesy. Vertex gets the kill onto Inhuman, and Quavo trades back on Vertex. Back and forth, and now it's all left on to Ash in a 1v2 situation with 1 minute and 15 left. Although Smoke is very low himself, down to about
Attackers recovered
15%
the
health,
bomb
but they
diffuser.
do have control where they need to upstairs. This could be the area where that lack of reinforcement comes back against them that you had mentioned, Talon. Easy way for him to get inside if he has the bomb, which he does.
Looks like he might decide to rotate over towards office, though. He's going to run up east stairs. Very well could catch them off guard if he does decide to come from this way, because currently Smoke's the only one in sight, and he's currently in back sight. But she's going to go ahead and make some noise, and they will be rotating.
Yeah, they're going to know she's there now. She used her Ash charge to open that wall because there's only 35 seconds left. So as you see, Bonzi probably just called heavy over. He's changed his attention toward that archives also. 25 seconds left. Ash has pushed into the office's dome room. Kind of just peeking back and forth. She's trying to take her time, but also push kind of quickly at the same time. Ooh, a nasty little flick. I think she heard something. No damage done. First smoke charge going down. Going to push through, and Ash gets the kill actually on a Smoke. Smoke not paying attention at all. And it looks like Ash is going to try to get the bomb down. Heavy doing his part, pushing forward, but doesn't know where it's pushed. No! Ash doesn't stick the bomb and pulls off. And the classic saying, pros don't fake, is prevalent on this one. And that should have been a round for Paradox, but that round's going to go to Vertex. Confusing. Or excuse me, should have went for Vertex, but it went for Paradox.
Wait a second. Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, so yeah, defenders won that round then. Okay.
Yeah, she pulled off of the bomb last second looking for the kill. She didn't realize that Mira was actually checking the door, could have pulled that diffuser and diffused it all the way, got up and probably even gotten the kill. So honestly, personally, that's why you just stick the bomb. You don't, there's no point, there's no time. You might as well just stick it because of situations like that. They're either going to kill you or you're going to get lucky. But when you pull, you have no chance whatsoever.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's actually two different ways that Ash could have played that. She, of course, ran in, got the smoke kill, but instead of planting, she could have actually also gone for the Mira kill. You know, at that point when the time is just so low, you don't want to be put into a situation where you're forced to plant. So, of course, you can go looking for the frags, but it's kind of risky because if the last person alive in a 1v1 situation realizes that, yeah, you have to plant, then if you don't know where that last person is, it can make it quite difficult to pull off the win there. Fortunately, just a little bit of mistiming, so close round either way. I do want to touch upon something that the trade at the beginning of the round, I think it was Mayhem and then whoever was on the Blackbeard, actually did end up getting traded. I do think that that actually kind of favors the defense there just because it was a Blackbeard instead of someone such as like a Thatcher.
Right.
I do think that Blackbeard has just such an impact on peeking angles that it makes a difference for sure.
Yeah, I could see that. I'd probably agree also. One of the few situations where if you get Blackbeard or Thermite or something like that, it's pretty valuable, so a good job by him to get that one. I still think Ash should have just stuck on the bomb and they could have had that round pretty easily. It was all the way down to the wire though, which is what I like to see as a caster. I like to see these exciting close rounds, you know, where it comes down to minute differences. And already only 45 seconds in, and Quavo takes out Mayhem, so Thatcher is gone. A good job by him to do that with Jaeger. He's hanging out down in this luggage claim, excuse me. Heavy has pushed his way into the tellers. and Jonesy looks like he's roaming just as well. He goes over and he gets the down onto him, but Vertex gets a kill on the Jonesy. Heavy's still there to protect him though. As you can see, Bandit is pushing around from the top side. He jumps through, and Thermite gets the kill on the Bandit. A little bit too much aggression shown by VT. So it's a 4v3 in favor of Paradox. They're up 1-0 currently with 1 minute and 35 remaining in the second map. Quavo is still inside of this luggage claim, though. He knows he's on drone, and he pushes him. Very heads-up play by Quavo. He heard the sound of that drone. He pushed it aggressively, bringing it back to a 3v3, but Vertex has pushed up into this luggage claim, and he's been forced all the way back into the corner of detention. He jumps into that office, but he's going to hear the glass break. If you're Quavo, you're just going to sit there and force him to push you, so I like how he held his angle, because there's only a minute left, and he is on defense. He doesn't have to go hunting for nothing if he don't want to. And they have rotated to the backside, and they pushed in to the archives, and they're looking for a bomb, and Thermite might actually get this bomb time. A very good adjustment by them. The C4 came up, he pulled off the bomb. Very heads up play. He's only at 5 health, but he's still alive. 40 seconds left. He's getting the bomb down. It's about halfway. He goes through, but no, the kill comes on the backside. He gets him. He gets a double kill. Bonsai gets the kill from that AC window, but he's all that's left, and it's only 30 seconds left. One tap going to be pushing through. That wall is reversed. They should have noticed that and pushed on the other side sooner. He flashes him. He's going to go for the aggressive pick, and he's able to get him. He doesn't realize he's right on the backside. He pulls out his pistol to increase his speed. He pushes all the way through. Now, is Rook going to push? No, he stays in this office. And so Blackbeard gets the kill on the AC unit. Talon, he gets the bomb. He gets the kill. He pushes through, and he clutches that bomb plant. Honestly, this round should go over to Blackbeard. It's all going to depend on how Rook plays it. Opting to push through the main hallway right now. I would assume he's going to be rotating through this security room. Blackbeard feels like he's going to be coming from this front side stairs, which he does. He does jump in. I don't know if he quite heard him. He falls back a little bit. He's looking for a pre-fire, but no, Blackbeard! Blackbeard, why? You had it! And the clutch going over to Inhuman, but I have to say it, Blackbeard, why? You are going to be my MVP. Ugh.
Oh my goodness, what is this game, honestly? Like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say there other than it was a great flash from whoever's playing Blackbeard, and then he pushed in and got the kill, and I was like, oh, that round is totally Paradox's round, but then like, what?
Yeah, that just can't happen. First of all, it can't happen if you're defense. That can't happen. And then second of all, Blackbeard, just go outside. You planted the bomb. Play the bomb. You don't have to pre-fire. You don't have to be aggressive. Just play for the entry. You are now on defense. Clear misplay by him, and he created the advantage for himself in the first place. So on one hand, he did a phenomenal job getting there, and then on the other hand, he just kind of whiffed a little bit at the end. But that does tie it up 1-1.
Defused by attackers.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think if I were him, I might have actually opened up both of those mirrors and played from outside. Maybe have a drone in security waiting for a potential flank, and then all you gotta do is just hold, and then it becomes a point-and-click adventure game. Oh man, that's honestly heartbreaking. I was rooting for him.
I really wanted to see him get that clutch. You know, I know he's Blackbeard. You could say, oh, he's just a Blackbeard player, but he did a very good job. He got the kill that he needed to on the trade initially. He did a very good job of getting a little pop flash, push through. I can't believe he didn't die when he pushed through initially. So a misplay there by the defense, and then fortunately for them, you know, he choked a little bit at the end. I was pulling for him. You were pulling for him. I'm sure our viewers were pulling for him. But that one just didn't quite happen. But we are tied up now into round 3. Jaeger, Castle, Mira, Smoke, Bandit on defense.
Other than that, unfortunately, Vertex just played a little bit too aggressive there off the start of that last round. It worked out some of the times, and half of the times it worked out, and the other half of the times it just it was a slaughter fest, unfortunately. So I don't think One Tap really had to push through and try to get the confirmed kill. I think that if he maybe even just sprayed the wall and then just kind of left, that would have been fine. I think it wouldn't have had to been that close for them. They still ended up winning the round, even though they made some mistakes in the early round, but it worked out, like I said.
Sledge has made his way into that security room, so they only use about 45 seconds to get their initial attacker into this primary room. I like that. They do have the Twitch once again. He's kind of just causing and being a pest currently. Standard is you clear top down, so Mayhem in a battle with Jonesy currently.
That's a battle that you really don't need to be taking, especially so early on in the round. It's just too risky. If you as the Hibana get taken out, it's just so risky.
Bonzi gets a kill onto, it looks like Sledge. I'm not sure, he hammered his way into that hatch, but it must have fell or something by accident, or he was looking for a cheeky quick kill, and that did not go in his favor. So they're down 1, a minute and 30 into this round. Half of the round has been played. The favor going over to Paradox, and honestly, Talon, it seems like Paradox is always up early, and then they just kind of lose it later on in the round. Ooh, Twitch does get that Mira open. So no complaints there. Good job by Twitch.
It looks like Vertex is just kind of all over the place right now. They're trying to do too many things at once. Just as I say that, Quavo gets 1. GT going down.
Quavo gets the double kill. They were doing a good job holding the defense. They had the early advantage. Luckily, Vertex able to get Bamboozler and keep that advantage, but he trades it back, so it's a 3v3. They have Ash to open this Archives hatch, so they have a clear sight line. Castle is playing inside the bathroom. Vertex gets a kill on the Inhuman Reactions. Jonesy gets a kill on the Bonzi, so it's now a 2v1, and Jonesy gets the double kill. And I believe he actually got 3 throughout that entire round, so a triple kill for him. Good job. Again, the individual play that we're seeing from Vertex, I think, is just a little superior currently. So they are winning now 2-1.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think if Paradox was able to really go toe-to-toe in terms of gunplay, I think this would be an entirely different story. As I was saying before Quavo got the nice double kill, I think Vertex was just trying to do too much everywhere, honestly. They're sending one person here, one person there, a couple of guys over here. So unfortunately, they really just needed to, I think if they focused a lot more effort just in one spot, I think that they would be in a much better position. However, it seems that, like you're saying, their gunplay is really picking up the slack there, just able to walk right in, get the kills they needed to, and then just go from there.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
All right, we
many
are
bombs as
into
they can.
round 4. Map 1 went to Vertex eSports. They are currently leading 2-1. Going to be holding this ventilation room just like we saw before. Let's see if they're a little bit more successful or what kind of change we're going to see. The initial change that I see is no Mira and no Castle. They decided to bring that Echo, and it looks like they also added in Doc.
It's definitely an interesting change-up. I do agree. You can use this Echo here, especially when you're playing downstairs. Send that Yokai Drone upstairs. Really just kind of try to support your guys that are trying to stay down there, and hopefully. Interesting to see we have Bandit on C4 instead of barbed wire. I don't really agree with that. I mean, even though you do already have a 6 barbed wire, it looks like, I do think that having all the barbed wire you can get is definitely an advantage. But as I was saying, have that Yokai Drone upstairs, really kind of support your roamers out. That can definitely be a great option instead of trying to save it for a plant, because there's just so many places to plant downstairs. It's really not the best use for it. Just go ahead and use it. Try to keep your guys alive. Looks like it's going to be a 2-3 split. Actually, no, excuse me. It's a 3-2 split. I didn't see Quavo over there in supply.
Yeah, Inhuman kind of just sitting up here, off in the corner of the break room. The attackers pushed all the way up on this east railing already and into the east stairs upstairs. Both of them are going to hop on drone run as we look to give them some shine. Blackbeard has control of this AC unit window. Pretty much every time you see a Blackbeard, you're going to see him on his window, but JT gets a kill on Jonesy to get the initial frag, so Valkyrie's down a minute into the round. Not something what you want to see if you're Vertex.
Again, like you were saying, Paradox just always seems to be up at the beginning of the rounds. Vertex really needs to go back and look through and figure out what they're doing wrong. Vertex finally finding that Valkyrie kill. I might have been spotting out. They're currently just kind of running around an office, seeing if they can find the picks they need. I think they've done the droning in Human. They realize that he's now in security, and there's not that much that he can do right now, other than just try to hold it there and waste some time.
Yeah, he's going to be just looking to eat the time. As you saw, he was pushing him from that top east stairs, but he has rotated on the backside. That was a little odd glitch there. It looked like fire was coming through. Now, Bonsai also putting pressure on the side. They have taken control of this break room. He's going to be in all kind of danger. Buck pushes out, perfectly timed by him, and he gets the kill, so JT is down 5v3. Or excuse me, Inhuman is down. JT gets the pickup. It's now 5v3 in favor of Paradox. Always up early, 1 minute left in this round. See if they can use this advantage to their advantage and finish out this round strong. Echo's still alive. Not sure why you're gonna peek that. Just don't peek that on defense, Echo. That's not something you need to do. Good shot by Mayhem. So it's now a 5v2. He's just gonna go ahead and jump into sight. Sure, why not? You can trade out, it's easy. Jaeger coming from customs inspection, pushing through the central stairs. Habana and Thermite opening up this backside. Bonzi takes out Quavo. Now it's all left on the dock. He was trying to get a chinky flake, and it didn't work. But Bamboozler gets a headshot on the Vertex. He gets one to ease the pain a little bit, slow the bleeding. He's getting shot from behind by Blackbeard. He knows he's there. They're pushing inside. They're clearly getting the bomb down, but Mayhem gets his double kill, and Bamboozler goes down. And it's now tied up back and forth, 2-2. Paradox.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do think that Vertex, unfortunately, their gunplay just wasn't able to bring him that round. I think they're just playing just too aggressive there. Valkyrie got picked up, and then the Bandit did. They still had about a minute and 30 seconds left when they got the final two roamers. Not sure where the Echo drone was. And I was saying, hey, it's okay if you're using it to try and support your guys, but unfortunately, I don't think that there's any supporting whatsoever with that drone. Or maybe it just got taken out, which means that Echo pick was wasted. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what Echo, as you were saying, was trying to go up main stairs, I guess. He decided to peek main stairs, but when you're in a 3v5 situation, you have to assume that every single angle is getting watched. When every single angle is getting watched like that, you can't get away with some of the things that potentially Vertex has been getting away with. So they've been playing a little bit too aggressive. They need to learn, hey, when do we need to step back and realize, all right, we're in the back foot here. We really just need to play a little passively and just go back to the basics of Siege and realize, hey, our aggressive playstyle is okay, but we need to do it at a time when it's convenient to us.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with them. Hopefully they can do something a little differently to bring it back. Yeah, forgive me, some issues are extreme here. I'm trying to figure out why it's dropping this bitrate so heavily.
Attackers have recovered.
But we are tied up 2-2 currently into round 5. Map 1 went over to Vertex eSports. Kind of just taking their time. Bamboozler sitting back on this EXT West Tower. Thought Bonzi was going to push out for a second. They're still opening up this east side wall with the Mira. Trying to see. JT looks like to be the only roam currently. A slight roam coming out by Mayhem. He's playing in this front hallway by this main stairs. I want to see if Pulse is able to get anything done from underneath. He is in prime position. You will normally see the attackers pushing downstairs also to make sure that no one's sitting underneath.
It looks like it's currently going to be security take here. They're going to try to get into security. As they say, the Heavy takes out one tap using that mirror, getting a little bit of free fire. Going to go ahead and fall back as they have opened up the wall now. So it's going to be, they're going to try to work their way into box, try to get rid of the ADSs, get some smokes out, try to get in there and get the plant. If they can get Mira out of this mini office, that's going to be the real big question.
Yeah, they're going to have to get Mira out of this small office if they want to be able to get a successful plant down. They did open up a huge portion of that wall, so it'll be easy for them to get inside. The question is, can they clear out that Mira? They do have control of security. Ash is pushing on the backside. Mayhem does a very good job picking up Jonesy. So once again, 5v3 in favor of Paradox, always ahead early.
That's for sure. Like I said, they're just going to go ahead and try to manually get rid of some of that barbed wire. There are no nades here. Mayhem going to go ahead and pick up another one. Bamboozler going to go ahead and trade it back.
Yeah, good job by him. It's a minute left in the round. They did slow down the bleeding a little bit with that trade back. Quavo is on this east there. Mayhem sees him.
Flopping mag.
Thought that was going to be a quick tap, but a couple missed shots. I thought he had him. Ash is still going to be playing this. Doing a little slithery snake move right here. She decides against it. She's going to go ahead and push up these east stairs. Oh, and just like that, Vertex sees her, so he knows he's there. If I'm Vertex, I'm going to push back, and the aggressive play by Ash pays off on that one, but Bonzi gets Bamboozler. Mayhem pushes all the way back up through the stairs, gets the reverse side, and takes out Quavo. That was the battle we saw in the front lobby there. So Paradox taking that round and going up 3-2.
Right now, I think Vertex is really trying. It's really not trying, but I think they are forgetting some of their basics there. Towards the end, I think Ash was on the camera. The hallway camera was still not taken out. I think there was also potential for Valcams, dispersed through. So I think they really need to slow it down. I think they're being way too aggressive. They're trying to do too many things. They didn't even have a Blackbeard there, so I'm not exactly sure what their plan was. I guess their plan was to just try to take out as much barbed wire as possible, open up the box. But, I mean, they had the box open, and yet Ash was on the other side of the map, just kind of by herself. Not sure what the point of that is. If anything, I would rather you just try and take sight, just try to run in there and do something. As we just saw, they just kind of fizzled out. They opened up the wall. They did a great job taking security. They weren't able to find Mayhem, but they still had security, and they opened box. So the logical thing to do would just try to run in and hope for the best, try to get your picks. Maybe do a little quick drone right before you do it, get some information, and then go in. But we didn't see any of that. And fortunately, Paradox is actually playing much, much better. They're playing smoother, I would say. Vertex, of course, did pick up on Oregon. Maybe this is just Paradox's map.
Yeah, maybe this is Paradox's map. I do like how close it's been. Just tiny mistakes here and there is all that's pretty much separated these two on this map. Currently, it is 3-2 in favor of Paradox. They did a great job on that round, getting what they had to do to get done.
Attackers recovered the diffuser. Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
Thermite and Havana once again should be useful for this upstairs take. A little late on these reinforcements here. Luckily, they can't get caught out quite yet. You do have to get all the way up on that railing to do any damage. But it looks like they are going to be going for this archives office side of the building. We have been seeing teams mostly going for that pillbox, other than the one rotation when they reinforce the wall going into the metal area of that locker room. 30 seconds into the round, still no noise as far as kill goes. Blackbeard made his way onto this AC unit window. That's the one thing I see. We don't see a smoke, and they opted for a mute. That's the first thing I'm noticing different, Talon.
Yeah, maybe Vertex is realizing, hey, we're having a little bit of issue with drones. Of course, we have been seeing, even on Oregon, Paradox is very methodical, very slow. They like their drones. So this very well could be a very smart and interesting decision to go ahead and bring that mute. Bring in a little bit of counterplay. So honestly, changing up would be nice. Looks like Bonsai actually spraying towards mini office. Jonesy just kind of playing out in the middle there. Not sure why are you peeking a Blackbeard. You're definitely not supposed to be doing that.
Definitely
that is
for
sure.
That Blackbeard. He took a little bit of damage. He's lucky he didn't lose his life.
That's for sure, definitely. That is such a common angle to get spammed and free fires.
And Human gets down. Not sure who downs him in that mix-up, but he does go down. Mayhem gets a kill onto one tap, and of course, Human is still down in the corner here by the offices. By the filing cabinet. They're sitting outside of the east stairs on the railing. Mayhem gets another kill, so Quavo's down. It's a double kill for him. 5v3 in favor of Paradox. Heavy gets a kill on a Human. He just finishes up that down. This round's pretty much going every way they needed to. Only a minute and left. I was going to say you probably shouldn't go for this side, but they are just outslaying everyone. Mayhem gets another kill. Bamboozler's down, and it's all left on mute now. And Mayhem gets the quadra kill that round. We missed all the kills, but he does a fantastic job slaying for his team. And it's now 4v2 or 4-2 match point in favor of Paradox.
And we very well could be going into that third map. Of course, it is Paradox. And if Paradox wins, we will be going to Clubhouse, I believe it was. I want to say, unfortunately, Vertex just doesn't know what to do here. It seems like their answer to anything, any sort of pressure, is to just try and aggress and just try to push that pressure and just try to hope for the best. We did see one tap as soon as Rook went down. He just decided to push the hallway, trying to get around him. Fortunately, Paradox was ready. So they need to come up with something a little bit different and figure out, all right, guys, this isn't working. We can't just keep aggressing. We're just going to keep getting killed. They realize what we're doing. They know our play style from Oregon and, of course, the rest of the rounds. So we need to change it up, and that's what we haven't been seeing. We did see the mute, but that doesn't really change their play style. That just changes an operator, brings a little bit of a different loadout. But I really need to see them play differently as a team and individually as well.
Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of muscle coming out from Paradox on this one. I don't know if they just used the loss from the last round as motivation, but they have been out-fragging them in pretty much every situation up to this point. Our first 4 rounds were fairly, even, but once that 2-1 lead came in, the next 3 rounds have gone over to Paradox, so we're going to need a little bit of adjustment, not just an operator swap, but maybe some kind of differential in their play style to help them out. We do see a 2-3 defensive split currently for Paradox. They have reinforced all this, and actually this is something I haven't seen before. They're just going to completely castle off and reinforce everything, and then I think on the basement here they're just going to leave most of it. They're giving themselves 1 corner to play, but they're giving up the side wall facing the south lobby. We do have a breaching round going down onto this Teller wall, so it's already open.
So it can be a very worthwhile trade-off, definitely sacrifice some reinforcement insight just so that your roamers can help stay alive. This can be a very calculated risk, but I do think it could work out in the end. Mayhem does have
gets
that
a kill onto 1 tap. Good job by him to use that smoke. A little bit of aggression coming out. I think that they're starting to worry on the side of Vertex. They're getting desperate. And I think that was a sign of desperation, and Bonzi just said, I'm not going to have any of that one, shuts him down. A minute into the round, it's 5v4 in favor of Paradox. I do like the setup we're seeing upstairs, giving up some of those reinforcements downstairs still, but it allows for such a strong hold upstairs, which is the weakness on this vertical map.
I think they're just totally ignoring that upstairs, though. I think they're in favor of just trying to push downstairs. I think Vertex will soon learn that that's not exactly how that is supposed to be played. Go ahead and try to open up more, but that doesn't really give you anything other than just an angle on site. That doesn't really help you take office. Vertex being a little bit aggressive, but it works. That's an interesting little peek there.
Works for him on that one. Vertex kills Quavo, so it's now 5v3 in favor of Paradox. Seems to be the tradition that we already see. Vertex actually gets the shots through onto Thermite and downs him. JT upstairs kills 1, so Jonesy's down. Bonzi gets a double kill, and that's Bamboozler down. Inhuman gets a kill on a JT, but Heavy gets his double kill, trades right back. So it looks like we're going to be having a map 3 Talon, because that one went over 5-3 in favor, 5-2 in favor of Paradox.
Yeah, that was a very, very decisive win, especially as we neared towards the end. Paradox definitely stepped up there. I think they really got the picks that they needed to. They worked better as a team, and more importantly, more than anything, they were able to shut down Vertex's aggression. Fortunately, they all just decided to push just so much. Looks like 1 tap with the 0-7, the 0-1-7, almost a secret spy agent, but not quite there.
Almost
like we'll be going into a break before we get into map 3.
Yeah, I like the adaptation that we saw from Paradox. They struggled on the first map, but they definitely showed that there's something to be dealing, or a force to be reckoned with, excuse me, and they could be something potentially dangerous down the road. I'm excited to see this last map, which is Clubhouse. But like Talon said, we're going to take a short break, let our guys do a drink and a bathroom break, and we will be right back. Thanks so much for sticking and hanging around with us so far, and we'll see you in a few.
I've got a question, if you'd hear me out in your defense, you never had a chance, and so tell me straight, I won't go, this is our time now, I'm sure, make no mistake, that we are closer than we're far. Embrace for impact, fight your fears fire. Embrace for impact, I'm the future's engineer, and baby I'm here, I'm here, and baby I'm here. Baby, I'm here. got a question. If you'd hear me out, in your defense, you never had a chance. And so tell me straight, I won't go. This is our time now, I'm sure. Make no mistake that we are closer than we're far. Embrace for impact, fight your fears far. Embrace for impact, I'm the future's engineer. And baby, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And baby, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And baby, I'm here, I'm here. Embrace for impact, find your fears far. Embrace for impact, I'm the future's engineer. Baby, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Baby, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Baby, I'm here.
All right. We are back in this one. We're going to be jumping right back into it on map 3, which is Clubhouse. Map 1, which was Oregon, went 5-3 in favor of Vertex eSports. Map 2 went in favor of Paradox, winning 5-2 on Border. Before we jump into the next map, Talon, do you have any predictions? Who do you think will win this final map? You know, Clubhouse being a fairly 50-50 straightforward map, I don't really think it favors anyone or other, but do you think that there's anything particular you saw within the first 2 maps that might be a deciding factor in this final map?
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why Vertex was able to do so well on Oregon was that the map itself lends itself to that aggressive play style that they were playing. And they tried to, I guess, bring it onto Border as well. And it's kind of the same thing, but not really. I mean, unfortunately, you just cannot, there's too many angles that can be watched. You know, you don't really have those flank routes. You don't have all these like cheeky angles that you have in Oregon. So they really weren't able to really grab a great hold. And so, of course, they did lost 2-5. But then all of a sudden we come into Clubhouse, and Clubhouse is kind of a map where it's very turtley, especially when you're playing downstairs. When the bomb sites are downstairs, it's going to be a very turtle situation. And so when Vertex is going to be on defense, I don't think they're really going to be able to have very much luck playing that aggressive play style that they have been doing and that they're so used to. On the other hand, we have Paradox over on the other side. You know, they're very methodical. They're very meticulous about what they're doing. They like to have their drones going. They like to find the roamers. They like to kill the roamers, and then they do what they need to on the site. I think that's exactly the sort of play style that they're going to need to try and win Clubhouse. So if Vertex really doesn't figure out what's wrong and what needs to happen, I do think Paradox is going to be the one to take it 2-1.
You know, if I was going to favor a team on this final map, I think it would have to come down to individual talent, being such a neutral type map, in my opinion. So I will also agree. I would give this one over to Paradox. I think they're just a slightly stronger as individuals. They showed a good job coming together as a team on that last one, and I think that the momentum will carry them into this final match. But all players are ready. And I think that we're about to kick this one into action. We are on map 3, week 3, or excuse me, map 3 of this matchup. It's week 3, day 5. We have Vertex eSports versus Paradox tied up 1-1 in this best of 3 series. Final decider map being Clubhouse. Assuming that we're going to see the Church Arsenal room first, but I'm not seeing a Mira, which you normally see from most teams at this point, Talon.
Yeah, very this is kind of gives me a throwback to like a season 3 strategy, you know, just kind of play your pulse and armory, and then other than that, just kind of relax downstairs, maybe send Mayhem on the bandit, maybe throw him up main stairs, maybe even get a little bit of pre-play C4s going using those Valk cams. But other than that, I really don't think we're going to see anything too crazy or too special other than just individual gunplay coming from Paradox, and that's honestly what has been working for them, especially on that border map. On the flip side, though, we do have Vertex, which is going to be on attack. They are bringing a Habana and a Thermite, which means we could very well be seeing some sort of push down into tunnel.
Something interesting to note, though, Talon, is they actually chose, since being an away team, they get to choose which side they like on this decider map, and they chose to go offense first. Do you think that there's a particular reason they would have chose to go offense first? You know, most teams are going to default to defense. I think things have been slightly attacker-favored recently, but still, it seems odd to me.
Well, honestly, besides, of course, it is a slightly slighted towards the attackers, but I do think that the attack side is what favors their playstyle more than anything. Honestly, they've really been showing that they like to be aggressive. They like to just go ahead and push in. They haven't really liked to been playing slow. You know, if they did like to play slow, they'd be doing the same thing as Paradox. Unfortunately, we haven't been seeing that. So I think that's kind of like what you're saying. One of the reasons why we're seeing them on attack first. So we'll have to see if they do continue that trend. If they will open up, I believe, tunnel. I'm not sure if they did or not.
I'm gonna check on with this Habana, and then we'll look at that tunnel. Of course, he only has to get one of those charges through there for that to be successful. Quick peek at this tunnel, and they did open up this back tunnel side. It was reinforced that Thermite used one of his charges for that. They also have already opened up kitchen hatch. Twitch is going to be a pest right here on that smoke in the tunnel. So Smoke is playing close tunnel to eliminate anyone being able to push forward. And he actually scared him so much that he was able to force him to use one of his smoke grenades already.
It's an interesting use, especially 2 minutes in. He is playing already all the way back into the nice little corner that usually the smoke mains will like to play. Valkyrie having a little bit of fun with her deagle, opening up quite a bit. Pulse is, of course, in the back arsenal room, trying to find someone to C4. We'll see Ash not going to be able to get her. She's unfortunately running a little bit too fast. Remember, Pulse's job is to try and get a C4 kill if he can, and of course keep information and tabs onto those on main stairs. He's going to see Ash, or he hasn't seen Ash, but Ash is at the bottom of main stairs. She's already cut the 2 sites in half. I do think it's just the Pulse and the smoke on this side of the bomb sites, and then everyone else is over on the other side. Heavy actually able to pick the Twitch up in tunnel, so that's a good job on his part. Here comes Pulse.
JT gets that C4. Not sure how that hit him.
How that happened. Yeah,
I think he caught someone running in on the backside, and we weren't even paying attention. He does pulse Thermite right there. He goes for some shots. He doesn't get him. It's 5v3 though in favor of Paradox, and I'm telling you, Talon, every round we see, they are in the advantage. They always have the man lead, and just like that, Vertex, he gets one down, so Jonesy is down. So all that's left is Thermite and Ash. Ash has made his way into Moto. Jay pushes across site. Ash able to pick up the down, so JT's now down inside of site. Only 35 seconds left. It's all on Thermite and Ash, and they have a whole team to kill. Bonzi just finishes that one out, so Bamboozler's down. It's all on Ash at a 5v1. He's going to have to pray for a miracle, and I just don't think it's going to happen. And just like that, Mayhem pushes through the doorway from Church into that Moto, gets the final kill, and it's now 1-0 Paradox.
And, you know, of course, playing defense first, I bet you Paradox probably loved that. I think they're probably a little bit confused of why they were given that defense first, because, of course, their play style is honestly perfect for that Church Arsenal room. I think they played it very well. Pulse doing a fantastic job getting a C4 kill. I think he threw a C4 off of old information, but he was actually still able to get a kill. Maybe person that he saw maybe turned around. Now, here we will see a Montang Blackbeard Buck combination. I do think that we will be seeing the Buck going and breaking up the kitchen floor. The Montang very well could be pushing down into tunnel with Blackbeard in tow. I think that is a very good possibility. We do not see a smoke, so we're not going to see any smoke in the tunnel sort of play. Instead, they have chosen to take Doc and Amira. This is a completely different setup than what Paradox had. This is going to be a little bit more favoring towards aggressive plays. They do have a double mirror setup in Church. Excuse me. They will be opening up one of those later in the round when they get to the bottom of main stairs. And again, all this setup is playing towards that more aggressive playing. They want to open up one of those mirrors. They want to get those pre-fires. And if they get punished for it, they do have the Doc to try to heal up their players. I do think that they will be playing downstairs, but I think they're going to be probably playing close in blue tunnels, so that way they can get a quick rotate back up. Looks like they'll be doing a little bit of late reinforcements. Other than that, I don't think there's actually going to be anyone upstairs. Ooh. But just to say that one tap was able to pick up
15 seconds
Vertex.
in and Blackbeard's gone. What are you doing, Blackbeard? Fantastic job by one tap. So it looks like he was able to push up in the backside of garage and catch Blackbeard as he was trying to get inside of that garage. And I actually like what he did here, Town. He got that pick and he said, you know what, I'm going to take my advantage and let's go back to site. Pretty sure that everyone else is down here, so it's a full turtle on defense. Doc replacing smoke in this tunnel. They still have their Thermite and their Habana.
Now, the interesting thing to do now is, okay, we're down at Blackbeard, but we still have our Montang. Montang's all the way down at the bottom of main stairs. I'm not exactly sure. This could get C4'd or punished, but they remember there is no smoke, so he should be able to just sit here and just get some free intel going down through the main hall. Heavy going to be maybe even looking to get an angle, but looks like they're just trying to get a plan. Vertex playing very fast, but Heavy was able to pick up one tap. Not exactly sure how or why you were peeking that. I understand that it's just a Montang, but of course with every Montang he does have a support. It's in the form of Heavy.
A minute and 35 left in this game, or this round, excuse me. It's a 4v4. The early pickup from one tap countered by Heavy right there. He went from being safe to being aggressive, so canceled that one out. They have opened this left side mirror. Montang is sitting, waiting patiently at this front door. Of course, no smoke, so there's nothing they can really do to get him out of there. That two-way spammable weird spot being spammed by Buck. C4 going down. Bonsai does a good job turning toward it to eliminate all that damage, so that C4 is no more, and they're out of C4. Very aggressive play by that Montang. Not sure that he should have done that. He's lucky he didn't get punished more. Took a little bit of damage, but that's it. It's still 4v4, 50 seconds left. Thermite looking to play a charge on this wall, but that one is banded. Mayhem on Habana takes out Bamboozler. So Mira's gone. Ooh, Heavy, a nice wall headshot to get the double kill. Excuse me, they also get the wall open. Quavo gets the trade back onto Mayhem, but it's still 3v2 in favor of Paradox. 25 seconds left, and they're getting the bomb down behind this small bar in Church.
Attackers activated.
Bandit juicing himself up using them stim charges. And they're both stuck on this side of the map. Nice shots coming down from JT on to Jaeger. Not a whole lot of damage, but he made his presence known. going to be playing patiently from the backside. Of course, there's not really much they can do. This was the perfect counter to that smoke, but Quavo gets his double kill. Ooh, it gets a triple kill. Catches him sleeping. Jonesy on the backside, and oh my gosh, the clutch coming out from BT. That should have been Paradox's round. Fantastic job by them to bring this back 1-1. Talon, what happened?
Failed. Defenders win.
Oh my goodness, wow, that was a roller coaster of emotions. First, one tap got picked off over in Moto. He was being a little bit too aggressive, got too complacent with the Montang, and got picked up by Heavy. Heavy then was able to push in. They actually were unable to get that wall open. They were forced to go all the way to the right, which I do think was kind of like a backup plan. I think that they, if they wanted to, or if they originally wanted to open up the left side of the wall. However, they didn't have a Thatcher, they didn't have a Twitch, so they were unable to really get those batteries. I'm not sure how they got the first battery on the right. That could have potentially be a very dangerous situation if all the batteries had remained.
I'm fairly sure that when Buck was bucking that spammable spot, he accidentally hit that far charge because it was tucked up in the corner. So I think that's how that one went.
Yeah, so I think it really just came down to luck that they were able to open up that wall. So I really do think that Paradox was from going off of borrowed time even when they got the plant down, but then suddenly just too much happened. They weren't able to win their gunfights. Vertex was able to come back and really push back using that aggressive playstyle, and they actually did manage to get the frag. So that brings us to
the location of a bomb.
Yeah, well, I would have liked to have seen it would have been to take that Montang and push him down the dirt tunnel. You know, in the early phase, you can take those drones. You can tell that there's no smoke. All you have to do is just put the time in to get the intel. Once you realize there's no smoke, why don't you just pair that Montang up with like a sledge or someone in the tunnel that can get rid of castles? You can put your Blackbeard on the blue tunnel, and now you're pinching them from both sides. Like you said, there was no way for them to get those charges out. So aside from the luck, they would have been stuck. So I think that was where their mistake was, is they didn't really read the field and adjust properly. They would have been much more successful pushing like that. But we are into round 3 now, all tied up 1-1, only 20 minutes into this third round.
Yeah, personally, I would have liked to have seen a Thatcher actually instead of a Montang, because then you could have used the Habanas and open up that wall and then really push them here out. But we will have a strip hold here. Mayhem really trying his best.
Completely blind. Good flash by Blackbeard to pop it in there. And now we're about to see a gun battle.
Swapping mag.
But I like what they're doing because they're actually pinching him from multiple angles. They have one on the window and a right from the right side. Blackbeard pushes through that opening on the outside and gets the kill. So Mayhem's early aggression in that not paying off. And just like that, Inhuman Reactions takes out Vertex from Paradox. So it's a 5v3. And I think that's the first time I've said that in about 6 rounds, Talon, in favor of Vertex eSports.
Yeah, no, for sure. I do think that maybe on border that almost never happened. Jonesy picking up Bonsai. This is just turning into a train wreck for Paradox for sure.
Wow, Jonesy gets the double kill at the end, and they also shot, like they put their focus on that thermite charge. They shot the thermite charge, or they banned, or I'm not sure how they got the thermite charge because they got eaten somehow, maybe a grenade or a C4 or something. And then they took their eyes off the backside, so it allowed for him to get that double kill. And just like that, that momentum that I thought was going to be in favor of Paradox is actually in favor of Vertex. So maybe they had a good meeting or something in between these maps, some kind of pep talk and rally, because they're up 2-1.
Yeah, for sure. Now looks like Paradox opting to bring the fuse. That tells me that they're really going to try to take upstairs pretty hard. Take upstairs, take master control, take gym control, and really play that vertical play that we have been seeing so far. Get that fuse in, make everyone run around, use that Blackbeard, kill them as they start to run around. Not sure if Vertex is going to be playing upstairs or not. If they are not, this could be punished heavily. If they are playing upstairs, it's really going to come down to can they hold it and how long can they hold it. If they are able to hold it for a couple of minutes there, that could end up working out, and fuse pick might be in vain. This fuse could also instead be used over towards cast room if they are playing someone in in B site stock room. I don't think they will be, just due to the fact that they just doubled Myriad on that stage. So there's definitely a couple of options that they could be doing for the fuse pick. We'll see exactly where they spawn. That'll give us a little bit of a better indication where they want to go. Just the fact that the drones are outside strip tells me they might decide to just take strip, then take out master. It looks like all 5.
They have one final person, and Vertex is spawning over on the construction, but heavy spawn, like you said, over here on this strip side. So we're going to see a strip take. I still would like to see them gain control of the upstairs gym room. the hatch is already open, so it'd be easy for them to play that. It has to be part of their tactics. Blackbeard is repelling on this window. Does back off finally. We still hear some late reinforcements going off. Very lucky to not be punished. Ooh, Vertex hits a kill on a one-tap. Another early death. We saw one last round, and we've seen it again this round. First 45 seconds, and both times it was Bandit. Bandit's gone. Good shots right there from Bamboozler to take out the first Blackbeard shield. So only one left for him.
A bomb has been located.
A minute has been played currently. Bamboozler sitting right behind that bomb.
They are trying to go full swing on the upstairs. This is really where it's going to be important. Can they take upstairs or not? Last I checked, the Bandit ran, or the Jaeger ran upstairs, but looks like for sure. They decide to rotate all the way down. That's going to give control of the upstairs. Mira's going to probably get pushed out by fuses pretty soon. I'm just going to do a little bit of droning. Call out. Blackbeard just
this is the first touch of the shots, but able to finish it off with the headshot at the end. Jonesy doing a little bit of peek right there on that bar, but he doesn't see him. But 2 picks have already gone over in favor of Paradox this round, so now it's a 5v3 in their favor. A minute and 15 left. Blackbeard just holding an angle. The first set of fuse charges going down on top of this pool. Jaeger is still in the basement flat of this front stairs. Opening up this wall, and it's looking like he was going to go for a good grenade. Hits that bar and misses a little bit. He's able to get the second one through, and I don't think that there's any Jaegers there to stop him, and he misses on that one. The first one going down, but Thermite gets inside and gets the plant down. So we have all 3 smoke grenades getting eaten, but they're both stuck in this stairs. Vertex gets one, Mayhem gets the other one, and now it's all on Doc, the Lone Ranger. Of course, he's not going to be able to do that. JT finishes him off with Buck. And now it's brought back 2-2, all tied up on this final deciding map.
Yeah, Paradox definitely punishing Vertex's lack of aggression up towards the top. I think they had a very, very strong basement presence, but there's really not that much use to have anyone really in basement except for maybe one person on that main stairs. Instead, Paradox was actually able to just go and take upstairs relatively with ease. I'm not sure if they even had to really use the fuses because they were able to just get the picks with the Blackbeard. Blackbeard was sitting, of course, at Whitehall, Strip Hallway, whatever you want to call it. He was sitting there. He managed to grab the Bamboozler Mira kill, since she just was kind of focused on that upstairs. So they kind of got punished for that, and I think they're going to switch it up next round. Next time, if they do decide to pick bar, they will be able to realize their mistakes. You know, hey guys, they took upstairs on us. We didn't really have anyone up there to really try and stop it. You know, they were up there for more than half the round, so they were able to actually get a plant off in a 5v3 situation, something that you really don't see that often.
Yeah, they did a good job, so hats off to them at the end of that round executing. Excuse me. We'll see what happens this round, though, because it is all tied up, and there are no more maps after this one. So this is pretty much as back and forth as it's going to get. Valkyrie likely to put her final camera here in this dirt tunnel. We have now initiated round number 5. It's looking like a full turtle on defense. They do have this Pulse sitting in the arsenal room as usual. Going to be looking for anyone going into the kitchen.
Drone's ready.
Ash already made her way into that stock room. Going to be droning out the garage. Almost looking like they're going to clear top down.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too early to say, but yeah, they have been clearing pretty well. I think they realize that there's probably not going to be any roamers, and that they can just go and open up what they need to. Once they do that, they can start trying to work the angles. It is about 2 minutes, so they are on track in terms of timing-wise. They could be a little bit faster if we've seen teams in this exact same spot, but at the 2 minute and 30 mark. So they definitely could find some time to speed it up there. Just going to be opening up, looking for people playing a little bit too aggressive, but they need to be waiting for the drones to get on main stairs to tell them for sure. Looks like Quavo is actually just going to go ahead and push right down, looking for the Valcams. Not going to be able to find any. Going to get rid of this barbed wire. Definitely a good start to trying to pick apart this turtle. think they still need to get those drones down there because currently Quavo and Ash is just kind of sitting down here for.
Blackbeard has pushed all the way up in the hallway here. I almost caught it from Valkyrie's perspective, but you saw her take out that Blackbeard and a double kill for Vertex. He's looking good. If you remember, he had the first ace of the CCS, and he's got 2 this round. It's 5-3 in favor of Paradox. They were down 2-1. They won last round. They're looking to swing the momentum in their favor here on this one, and they started it pretty good so far. Ash's early aggression down that front stairs I thought might pay off, but they got killed on the backside.
Scanning. Drone activated.
Boss is in this arsenal room. He knows Bamboozler's here, and he's just waiting for him to sit kind of idly.
Surveying.
Only 45 seconds left. He spotted him there, so he knows he's pushing down this front stairs. Ooh, and he was ready for it. He called that out clearly. Bonzi peeked that doorway and gets the kill. JT gets the kill from the hole he made on the side of Arsenal Room into the front stairs. So Bamboozler's down, and now it's just Habana. Habana gets the kill on the Vertex, shuts down his killing spree. Mayhem pushes through the hole into the blue and kills Jonesy, and now it's 3-2 in favor of Paradox.
Yeah, definitely another great round there from Paradox. Last time that they were down in the basement, I think we saw a very, very similar story. Again, just all 5 of those players just surviving almost to the very end. Unfortunately, I think it did come down to a 41 until he was finally taken out. But again, Paradox knows that downstairs site, that is kind of their site. And now they have the momentum. They are deciding to bring another Montang, but here's the switch up. They have decided to bring a Thatcher this time. I totally agree with this. This is exactly what I kind of said, very early on in the game. They really had no way to open up that wall, and Human did decide to place his batteries down on those mirror walls. So I think that now they realize, okay, we'll just use the Habana Thatcher combination. We'll make sure we get in there. That way we can get exactly what we want to open, and we can go exactly for our strategy. The Paradox does seem like a very strat-heavy team, very methodical as we've seen them for the past 2 maps. So I think this is just a really good change up here and very smart. They're not just saying, hey, that just came down to gunfights. No, that came down to operator picks, and they knew exactly what they needed to change. So I like it.
Yeah, honestly, it's the one thing that I see from them. Not all the younger or newer teams, if you will, are able to play with such an intellectual value. They were able to identify, hey, we kind of got lucky last time, and it worked out in our favor, but it could have went horribly wrong. So for them to see that and identify what that is a very, very solid starting point for a strong team in the future. So I like seeing that. They've been down a couple times and they've fought really hard. Their first 2 matches were against Honor Among Thieves and Ferocity. So, a pro team and them. So I like what I'm seeing from them here. Do you think they're going to be able to muscle it and go ahead and pull this out?
I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see because, of course, that Montang can't really do anything in terms of slaying power. He's not going to really be able to make any of the frags himself. He is going to be relying entirely on his team to try to make some kills. He's just there as a permanent drone, an unkillable drone, as you could say. So it's going to be interesting to see, are they going to be able to get the plant off with him? I think that's really what it's going to come down to, is can they get the plant off? Because I don't think they're going to be really going for kills in this sort of situation. He's already pushed out main stairs. Going to go ahead and just try to get that early info. Buck getting that floor destroyed. Not going to be seeing a pulse in the back of armor. Actually, this is very interesting that if they did drone it, they could realize that they could very easily just going to go for a kitchen drop. They do have one in tunnel. Jonesy, if they can just kill Jonesy, that armory is kind of wide open in my opinion. Other than that, they're playing very aggressive in church. Yeah, like very heavy church, not that much in arsenal. So if they realize it and they drone it, they might see, hey, that's what we need to do.
A gun battle going back and forth between Vertex and One Tap. Only a little bit of damage exchanged onto One Tap. So Rook's about, say, 60% health left. Monzai still sitting on that. JT does a good job catching him. He was trying to peek that Montang on the front stairs, and JT catches him with a lot of damage through that hatch. He's left with about 15%. They do have a dock, so if he gets around, he could potentially heal him up. He is going to have to go through some dangerous situations to get there. They do a good job using that Habana to open up that Mira. So the right side is open, and it looks like he's going to go for the laydown C4. That's probably not going to do much. Bonsai just going to back up and eat all that damage. A minute left in this round. Still no operators dead. Habana sitting right behind the Mira. Vertex is going to pick picking up some good frags, so let's see if he can get another one here. Only 50 seconds left. They have control of this front stairs. They have control of the kitchen, but they're going to have to start pushing forward because they are running out of time. Mayhem drops into church right as I say that. And Montang is actually able to get the frag. You say he doesn't know slaying power. He says, what talent? I can slay too with the best of them. And he gets the kill there. Mayhem has crawled his way into dining room. JT gets the kill on a Jonesy. Vertex gets the kill on a one-tap. Inhuman gets the trade back on a JT, but Mayhem gets the kill on a Quavo. So Bandit's the only one left. A double kill at the end of the round. Mayhem did a very good job taking them out. He was able to drop through Moto and squeak into that room. He was laying down, so they didn't even know he was there, and he didn't end that round. It's now, I believe, 4-2 match point in favor of Paradox.
And there is that perfect Thatcher pick, as we were saying. You know, honestly, they were able to open up that wall. Yeah, Montang was actually able to get a kill. He just walked up to that wall, abused the fact that he can stand there. His legs were completely covered using that Habana hole into the mirror. And the RNG gods were in his favor, honestly. So good job on him. I'll give it to him. Give him all the credit he can take for that. But yeah, he made me eat my words there, that's for sure.
Yeah, he definitely did. And I quote, not going to be bringing much slaying power. And he said, I'm the talent. It's not going to happen that way because you don't know me as well as I know me. So, honestly, I think that was a slight misplay by them. Once they got that mirror open, he just seemed like he was too nervous and scared, and he didn't play it properly. Like you said, all of Montang's legs are covered at this point, so he just hip-fired him until he downed him and then finished them off. Good job by him. Good execution by their offensive strat and good adaptation. Like we mentioned by Paradox, showing why they're ahead currently.
Yeah, this is going to be the tough round. This is going to be their offsite in Stock and Bar. This is where a lot of teams have trouble finishing out the maps, finishing out the rounds. You know, because if Paradox loses here, it's going to be on a, they're going to have to go back to attack, and they're going to have to attack that downstairs once again. Of course, they were very dominant on that attack, but, you know, Vertex kind of realizes, hey, this is what they're doing, here's how we counter it. So this round right here is going to be very critical. Looks like they're stacking very, very heavily on the side of Strip. This action is going to get started very quickly as Vertex has also spawned at Strip. So we'll see how this plays out. This could be a very, very quick round.
Yeah, looking like they just want to get in there. They know they're down. They're looking to just change something. I like the use of this wall here to repel and peek into this gym room because Jaeger is up here and he's about to be pushing. See if we get any kind of gunfight. Jonesy probably the better angle to look from on this one. So close, they don't even know each other's there, but will JT get too aggressive and peek out? I really don't think that he will, and so he opts to go back, and a minute is already taken out of this round, and they haven't really pushed much town. They're still sitting on the outside of Strip, but not forward. These castles are doing a good job holding them off. Look from the inside, Mayhem sitting on this reinforced wall. They're going to have to use their Habanas to get rid of this castle door.
They have a very distinct lack of grenades, so even if they do get that door open, there is still barbed wire. Witch drone's going in, going to cause some havoc there, open up some windows. They will see Mayhem is in there. I'd like to see Mayhem go ahead and rotate out at this point, but I think it's just going to be a little bit too late.
Twitch got 30 damage. That's 40 damage now he's got on the Bandit. And Bandit said, I'm taking too much damage, I'm out. And he runs out. I can't believe he getting picked up on the side, though, because Blackbeard was sitting at this, so he got a little lucky. Able to retreat, but Twitch did a good job getting damage down.
Yeah, but the important part there was, of course, they did waste almost 2 minutes. It is now 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Quavo gets a kill on the Mayhem. It looks like we saw him. He rotated around on that stairs. He must have pushed upstairs and got taken out upon rotating because Quavo had control of that cash room. He ashed in from the garage. 55 seconds left in this round, but this one is 4v5 in favor of Vertex. It is 4-2 match point in favor of Paradox, though, and it's the final map in the series. About to start seeing some action as they push forward. Smoke's going down. And Jonesy gets the pick on the Bonzi, so now it's a 5v3, and Jonesy gets the double kill. Can he pick up the triple? He knows he's here. A little dance back and forth between Smoke and Habana. A Smoke going down. Quavo gets his double kill. JT's down. It's a 5v1. All left on the Smoke. They got the bomb down. He's gonna have to pray. He peeks out right as the grenade goes down. Quavo gets his triple kill in the end, and Heavy goes down. bringing it one closer. And like you said, it was going to be very difficult for them to win that one, and it was difficult indeed. And it's now 4-3, still match point in favor of Paradox, but they brought it one step closer to bringing it to overtime and giving themselves an opportunity to win this week.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, that was the critical round. That was the round that they really needed to win, because now, like I said, they're back on attack. They realize, okay, we've got to remember, we got to bring Thatcher. We're going to do this, all this different stuff. But what will Vertex do differently? That is going to be the key. They realize, hey, they're bringing a Montang. Do we want to bring a smoke? Do we want to even keep running those mirrors there? You know, do we want to just know that, hey, they're running a thermite. Let's just not put mirrors on that wall. That is exactly what they're doing. They decided no mirror. Let's play that smoke. Let's counter that Montang with that smoke. Let's play that pulse, because they haven't been playing that smoke. They haven't been playing that pulse, and all of a sudden we've seen the switch up. This is exactly what they needed to do. Honestly, this is a perfect situation for them. They realize what's going to happen. They're counter-strategizing it perfectly. So let's see exactly what they do. Will that pulse be able to sit in back armory? There is that buck there, so we'll have to see if they were able to get that C4 off. That's going to be really critical there as well.
Yeah, we touched on Paradox with their intelligent play, and it seems like every time we try to call something with these two, they prove us wrong, because now we're seeing the intelligent play from Vertex, like you said, trying to adapt. They saw that they're bringing the Montang, so they're going to use the pulse and the smoke.
5 seconds
They
to
did
insertion.
use a different character last round on this defense, so I like the
Attackers recovered
adaptation
the bomb
from them.
diffuser. Attackers are moving
Just
out
like
to locate a bomb and
Paradox, but
defuse
it is still 4-3 match point. This is the final map. Map 1 did go over to Vertex eSports 5-3 on Oregon. Map 2 was Border, and that went 5-2 in favor of Paradox. So those two fairly one-sided, but this one very even. You know, we called it a 50-50 map, and it kind of proves it here. Slowly droning their way into this garage side, but they do have 3 spawning on the construction side. They have that thermite and that Habana, so you have to think they're going to try to open up this side. Wow, a late reinforcement, and they have no clue that this is going on, and this could be the end of the week for them. But they're not getting cut, and they're very lucky for that one. They get one wall, but they left the other one. Not sure why they even risk it if it's only going to be for one. Montang has made his way all the way into this front stairs again. It's only been a minute in, so I like the pace of this round so far. They're clearing out what they need to, and they're entering. They have control of pretty much everything to this point.
Going live.
Full turtle going down for the defenders.
Alright, so here's where the new operator picks really come out. A little bit of a miss C4 from Pulse there. He's still giving information though, so still worth the pickoff. Bit of bullets going down towards Montang. Buck is actually almost dangerously low. I think he actually is getting reset right now. It's kind of hard to tell. One tap goes down, being a little bit too aggressive. Montang, again, making me eat my words, being able to get a kill. Oh my goodness.
Not sure how he keeps doing it. And when something like that happens, Talon, it's more of a misplay by the defenders, because you know how Montang functions. When you put yourself in a situation like that, you can give, you know, a good amount of credit to Montang, but I always would give the discredit to that defender, because he shouldn't have been there at all in the first place.
Lobbing a smoke grenade.
But you have it, 5v4 in favor of Paradox on their match point, the final match point of the game, at least before overtime. 55 seconds left. One of the grenades, or impact grenades, just went through. Montang is actually pushing through, and he's trying to shield so that they can get into armory, and this is a very beautiful executed plan by them. I love the use of Montang to get inside of this armory. Bamboozle is the only one that's on this side, and he is stuck in this dirt tunnel. Quavo on the weapons rack side, but just like that, he gets a pick, and he's down. It's now a 5v3, and it looks like they're going to win this with only 30 seconds left. The counter pick on the smoke, a good call, but it doesn't matter. He wasn't even able to get his smokes off.
A bomb has been located.
And look at this Talon, just right in the corner here. They got the smokes down. He's going to be planning behind that Montang. That impenetrable force. He gets killed on the exit. Jonesy kills him. JT gets a kill on the Quavo, but Inhuman kills Mayhem. He goes down. But Paul's going to pick him up. It's a 3v2, one of them being Montang for the attackers, but the bomb is down. And Montang sees him, and he goes way too aggressive. He gets the kill onto him, but Habana does a good job on the front stairs. That's a double kill for him. So Vertex gets 2. Jonesy gets down. The last one left is Rook. Can he do it? Buck just holding above. He has an open spot, but no, Vertex ends it with a triple kill, and he wins that one for him. Vertex coming up huge in this series for Paradox, and it's a 2-1 win. And it looks like they have their first win between the two teams, and it is going to be Paradox like we predicted. You know, I know it's a 5-3-1, but that one was a pretty close back and forth battle, Talon.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of the rounds did come down to, 2v1s and 2v3s. So honestly, really great series for both teams here. Unfortunately, for Vertex, they just weren't able to really realize their mistakes, and they did a little bit towards the end. They did try to do the smoke. Smoke got picked off a little bit earlier in that final round, so he was unable to use his smokes against the Montang. So they had the right intentions, but they just couldn't quite pull out the picks. But with that, great series for Paradox. That is, my bad.
Yeah, it was a great series by them. I actually thought initially when we saw the first map that it might be a little different than I thought. I favored them in the beginning, but Vertex came out and they showed a lot of strength on Oregon. But then I think at the end of the day, there's just too much individual talent on the roster of that Paradox team, including the ace from Vertex. A very good job again to you. That was beautiful to see. But yeah, I think that was an
Yeah, for
exciting
sure.
matchup to watch.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to see more from Paradox there. Again, combine that great individual talent plus a little bit of team play, and you get some really great rounds. Of course, when it doesn't work, when their methodical nature kind of works against them, it can kind of crash and burn. But there's only a few rounds where they let that happen to them. They realized their mistakes. They were able to fix a lot of them, and that gave them most of their round wins. So great night for them, and I'm sure that they'll make it even better.